हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक। मार्केट्स ने कुछ साइंस ऑफ रिवर्सल दिखाए हैं। आईटी इंडेक्स में एक मोमेंटम डेवलप होता हुआ दिखा है। बैंकिंग भी सपोर्ट कर रही थी, बट कल और आज थर्सडे और फ्राइडे थोड़ा सा टेपेड परफॉर्मेंस बैंकिंग में होता हुआ दिखाया है। क्या हुआ है और क्या होने वाला है आगे, उसके लिए एज ऑलवेज हम जाते हैं एके के पास और सब। गुड इवनिंग।
Good evening, Rachit. How are you?
आई एम गुड एंड वेलकम बैक आफ्टर अ हॉलीडे।
Yeah,
और
thank you,
क्या
thank you.
करवा रहे हैं?
I had in fact मैं holiday से आया हूँ. I have rejoined work on 1st of July, and I was looking at the closing on 1st of July and looking at the closing on the last day when before I left, which was the 19th of June, फ्राइडे. तो मैंने इनफैक्ट आपको ये फोन करके भी बोला था कि 19 जून को 24,013 was the closing point Friday, and on the 1st of July, Wednesday, when I rejoined, it was 24,005. So practically speaking, the Nifty was there. It's back to where where I left it. अब इस बीच में क्या हुआ? While I was traveling and there was a lot of news flow coming in from from the geopolitical side and everything. A lot of impact came in by the way of fall in crude oil prices, and now crude oil has sustained lower prices for second straight week. So so that is again a good thing for the market. But what happened in this entire 8-10 day period, or rather 8 trading sessions, or if I may say so, we fluctuated about 200 points below 24,000 and above 24,000. So, we spent some time below 24,200 points, which is 23,800. And upper mein we hit 24,200, 250, and eventually came back to 24,000, around 24,000. तो बेसिकली क्या लग रहा है ना रचित आपको, मतलब मैंने ऑन मल्टीपल ओकेजन्स इन द पास्ट आई हैव टोल्ड यू अबाउट दिस होल पेंडुलम थिंग. See, pendulum ka center is somewhere that you the markets try to come back to. If
Right.
something is bad, they'll go back, they'll go down, and then it'll bounce back and come back. If something is good, reverse. So they'll go up and eventually it'll come back. So last week, the week I was absent, clearly the pendulum was around 24,000 hard mark. Okay, and if you remember, I have been very structurally and very vehemently viewing 23,800 as a very strong resistance level when it was above the markets, when the markets were below 23,800. And the same logic applies, once it crosses up above the resistance level, and decidedly so, it becomes a very strong support level. सो अब आप देखिए, अगर पिछले आप 8-10 दिन का चार्ट देखिए तो 2 या 3 अटेम्प्ट मार्केट ने मारे 23,800 टच करके वापस बाउंस बैक किया. ओके, इंट्राडे मार्केट्स हैव आल्सो गॉन बियॉन्ड 24,200, 250 and touched, like, today's high was 24,378, which is again an intraday high. Of course, closing the second half of the day, we saw a clear cool off in the market. It is like, somewhat coming back to those 24,200, 250 mark. So मुझे क्या लगता है कि maybe, this is the second week or third week not second week, in which we have seen a clear up move from from a base level of 23,800 to your 24,000, and now it feels like the pendulum center is moving up to 24,200. This is happening in succession. Okay, अब इसके साथ let us equate the news flow with it. We have seen not much in this week coming from the whole Iran and Israel and America equation, correct? Okay, there is no further data that suggests further macroeconomic weakening as far as India is concerned. Okay, so we have ruled out, or we have, we can say it's an absence of bad news on two fronts. जो दो फ्रंट एक्चुअली खराब हो सकते थे, कि एक तो जो वॉर को लेके जो फ्रंट है, जिस दैट कैन स्पाइक अप ऑयल प्राइसेस एंड क्रिएट दैट वरी ऑल ओवर अगेन, वो चीज अभी इस वीक में एब्सेंट थी. मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक कंसर्न्स, I'm not saying the concerns have vanished in thin air, no, but they were not talked about. There was no new data suggesting, further deterioration in macroeconomic conditions. Okay, so on that note, yeah, what happened positive was rainfall has engulfed most part of India now.
Hmm.
वो जो बहुत टाइम से there was a concern that there is El Nino and we will be really rainfall deficient and all that. So now there is a an understanding, or there's a theory which is going on that July and August are the key rainfall months in India,
Right.
and if we receive enough and more rainfall in July and August, it may be sufficient for our crops. So, that eases a big cause of concern for the time to come. Because आपको पता है कि इंडिया में crops would mean the purchasing power, good crop would mean better purchasing power in all tier 2, tier 3 and the village rural population. And that consumption power and that purchasing power will eventually translate into our company sales and better figures for the next year. तो एटलीस्ट, सो हम क्या बोल रहे हैं, हमारे दो जो बिगेस्ट कॉज ऑफ कंसर्न है, वो हमारे अब इस वीक में कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ उनके उसके अगेंस्ट,
Hmm.
कुछ नया नहीं है. मॉनसून को लेके चीजें अच्छी हो रही है. Okay, so I don't see a reason why this upside between 24 and 1000 and 24,300 is not justified. This upside is genuine. For that matter, I agree. Yes. Now
Hmm.
going forward, Rachit, we need to take a close look at the result season that is coming in. देखिए, there are multiple factors that are affecting the markets, but as I've always maintained, what we should focus is factors that are directly impacting us, our own
Hmm.
macroeconomic conditions, our own Indian consumption story, our own corporate results. These are the factors which ये सब चीजें अगर अच्छी हुई ना रचे, तो ये बाहर जो हो रहा है, ऑयल प्राइसेस एंड ऑल दैट, ये सब चीजें हैंडल हो जाएंगी. टैरिफ हो रहे हैं, ऑयल प्राइसेस हो रहे हैं, ऑल दीज कैन बी हैंडल्ड इफ वी आर इंटरनली doing well. But all of this working in our favor, and internally, if we are not doing well, which actually means that the economy is slowing down or regressing. Okay, so it is a very clear thing, at least in my head, it is a very clear thing that the factors that we must look at now very closely are the corporate results. The corporate results must match up to the expectations. At least they must be doing better year on year, if not quarter on quarter.
Right.
If we are better off from last year, this upside may go further up, may sustain.
In that
I'm
case, what are the levels that we're looking at?
again, Rachit, I will not be able to tell you that even these levels are justified unless we have some sort of an idea with the coming results. मतलब अगर results की expectations या कुछ कुछ एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग आए, तो मैं सोच सकता हूँ, मैं ये एस्टिमेट लगा सकता हूँ कि 24,300 is justified, or 24,500, or 25,000. It can be, see, it can be anything.
No,
Can
only
we?
for the coming week. Only for the coming week, considering the technical shift that we are seeing. Are we
Yes.
actually heading towards, because if we have taken a shift from 24,000 to 24,200, are we actually getting into a zone wherein we'll find a support, good support at 24,000, and the upside move might take us to 24,450 or 500 in the coming week if the results come in right directions?
Yes, yes, Rajat. In fact, I feel 24 100 should be now a good support level. It can be broken intraday on no bad news, yes, but I hope it doesn't close under 24 100. On the upside, yes, 24 500 right now is a mental barrier, I would say. But if things go all well and we over the 2 weeks, because next week also there won't be much results coming in before 9th or 10th of July. So agle week be, in the absence of bad news, it will sustain. If there is no further bad news, it will sustain. See, uh, what happens in Indian markets is that no news is good news.
Uh,
No bad news is definitely good news, and good news is good news. So फिलहाल हम ऐसे सिचुएशन में है that there are 2 or 3 possibilities that will make the market sustain if not fall.
hmm.
अब bad news is bad news. हाँ, अगर वो आ जाए तो फिर अलग बात है.
हाँ,
तो
बट
मतलब
लुकिंग एट द कंडीशंस, अब जिस तरीके से पैसिव मूवमेंट देखने को मिल रहा है, ईरान, यूएस,
right.
ट्रम्प इज आल्सो गिविंग आउट इंटरव्यूज एंड नंबर ऑफ अदर थिंग्स. Over the last weekend we saw Iran and US hitting each other, but still crude was not
Right.
making any northward movement. I believe if Trump does not attack any other country over and above Iran, the crude says कि हाँ ठीक है भाई तू करता रहे. Now we know how it is functioning. Till the time the Strait of Hormuz is not close, because Saudi also gave out a good output data that they have also started off exporting.
Right.
So in that case, this particular concept of yours also is making sense, that Indian market has been getting such kind of, and global markets have been getting such kind of bad news, that no bad news is also good news for some time कि भाई ठीक है छोड़ दो काम कर लेने दो. So
नहीं,
I believe.
और ऐसे जैसे रचित जो आपने अभी बोला ना कि वी आर गोइंग टू markets have kind of matured, or have started taking, like for example crude oil has started taking things in its stride, that ये सब होता रहेगा. It is the same thing what we saw with the Russia Ukraine war also. For 1 month, 2 month, it was a very impactful news for the global markets. 6 months down the line, there were an attacks here and there, but the front page news had slipped to third page or sixth page, and then eventually 1 year later, uh, it became sort of irrelevant. One of कभी रशिया या यूक्रेन में कोई क्रॉस फायरिंग या कुछ हो भी, तो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता था. वो अब 4 साल से ऊपर हो गया उस वॉर को. टेक्निकली दैट ऑफिशियली दैट वॉर इज नॉट रियली ओवर इट, बट शांति है. अभी कभी बीच में कोई एक अटैक हो जाता है तो कोई कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सी, मार्केट्स लर्न टू लिव विद वॉट एवर इट इज. सो अगर क्रूड ऑयल अगर 70 है तो वी हैव लर्न टू लिव विद इट. अगर क्रूड ऑयल अगर 120 पे भी सस्टेन करता रचित, तो सूनर और लेटर वी वुड हैव लर्न टू लिव विद इट.
Chaliye, got it. So for the coming week, we have a range of say 24,100, 150 levels as a support, and higher side we're looking at 24,450 and 500. This would be the and 24,200 is a new pendulum point that we are.
I would believe so. I would believe so. I would really hope.
Okay, and probably we don't have much of development in the coming week. But if it happens, then the market will react accordingly. And hopefully you're not traveling anymore. So next,
No, not in next couple of weeks at least.
so then again we'll catch up with you in the coming week
Right.
and try and understand as to how we have to deal with the markets going ahead. As always, it was fun learning and talking and understanding about the markets. Have a happy weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy weekend to you. Bye.